against... No, we won't have as the prince... Wait, watch me. Stop that. The blade! She never... She plunged... What? Apparently not. You can't just... Everything. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. If only you knew what you did to us, you villain. Excuse me? Forget he said anything. But he is a villain. He made our beloved brutally take our life last time. He's trying to keep us apart, but he won't be able to withstand the power of our love. Last time? What are you talking about? I think he just likes to hear the sound of his own voice. Let's try to ignore him. I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed. Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead. The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine-threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight, but it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I think we're in love. Okay, I'm with you that we should be doing whatever we can to save her, but saying we're in love is a bit much, don't you think? We don't even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this fawning. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall. My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment. You know she can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit. Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing. And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back? You've been here before, haven't you? That's right, villain, and you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty. And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but What's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time. We damned a whole world, but everything reset. Nothing resets, you're just somewhere else. You can't keep hopping between worlds forever, especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you. This is horrible. Horrible for you, maybe, but we've been given another opportunity to sweep her off her feet and treat her like the lady she is. Now, hold on, if she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue her? We never saw a world end, and now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic and romantic destiny than I've ever been. I shan't let anyone convince us otherwise. Are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your job.
I'm sorry. Didn't you want me to?
Did we? We warned her of the cruel forces seizing our body. That's practically telling her to kill us. She is our beloved, and she made the choice to free us of our misery, to show us mercy and make the best decision for everyone. She made the best decision for her. Don't be so quick to assign kindness. You're just opening yourself up to manipulation.
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Isn't that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips. Are you listening to her? That's a confession. The princess's eyes quiver as she waits for your response.
I didn't end the world? I didn't end the world.
She's clearly just saying what she thinks you want to hear. Or she's innocent. How could a beauty like her be capable of ending the world? It's not rational.
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done. What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird? She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel. No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behaviour and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her.
You died, and now we're talking.
If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
She took that in stride, to a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually. That's because she's perfect. Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do? She doesn't. There's no one else like me. I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence. can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? I would if you had a weapon. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought. You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings, and doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to. I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back, and everyone out there would be saved. Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon. Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our side?
What do we do now?
Let me guess. End the world? Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave, and I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection. And then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do? I just want to make you happy.
She can't just want to make us happy. It makes sense to me. That's all I want for her, so of course she'd want the same for us.
That sounds perfect.
The princess takes your hand, the last hopes of the entire world slipping through your fingers as they intertwine with hers. We have each other. We don't need the world for our happy ending. I like to think that you do, actually. Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made and this is happening. You don't have to mope about it. I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with. You and the princess walk up the stairs hand in hand. Ugh, look at the way she's smiling at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about this. And what happens after we walk up the stairs? Let's see. Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock clicks. That's a familiar move. Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not fair. We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairnesses of the world are no match for the strength of true love. Enough with this true love nonsense. You just met her. Of course you wouldn't understand. Our passions run deeper than anything you have ever known. Are you listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice. I'm just along for the ride at this point.
Well, I don't know. Do you think I can?
Of course she can. You believe in her, right? Nobody is leaving this basement.
Okay, let me try.
The princess tries the handle. And the lock clicks, and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me? I told you she could do it. You and the princess make your way upstairs, and the blade, that's right, there's still a chance for you to do the right thing. Take the blade from the table and slay her before it's too late. You take the blade from the table, turning its tip towards the unsuspecting princess. Thank you. Wait. No. You barbarian, what are you doing? But you ignore the pleas of the foolish little voice and strike. The princess's eyes grow wide with terror as the blade falls, but she does absolutely nothing to stop you. Your blade pierces her heart. She collapses pathetically to the ground.
I'm sorry. Did I do something wrong?
No, my love, you did nothing wrong. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Not you.
I'm going to die now. I think that's what you want.
And just like that, she's dead. And the world is saved. Thank you for seeing this through. I know it must have been difficult. I feel sick. Sick? You took part in the murder of the fairest creature that's ever lived. And you merely feel sick. I, for one, am absolutely distraught, grief-stricken, inconsolable. You'll get over it. You just saved everyone. Get over it? You smarmy ass. There's nothing in the world worth getting over it for. We might as well just end it all. You raise the blade, aiming the point directly towards your heart. Excuse me? No, you absolutely do not do that. Yeah, let's not make any rash decisions. We should give ourselves a minute, take a deep breath, and... Rash. The only rash decision we've made was running our cursed blade through her heart. This is far from rash. This is measured. This is the only thing left for us to do now that she's gone. Exactly. You're not doing this. All of you may have previously thought that my passions were too great to stifle, but those were merely passions of joy. My passions of sorrow run deeper than the ocean itself, and you'll find that they are far more unstiflable. Haven't you? Haven't you all? I don't believe this. What? What don't you believe? You plunge the blade into your own heart and collapse to the floor. You can't be serious. Why are you helping him? I'm not. He just made it happen. I'm sorry. That's right. You're all sorry. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path. You horrid monster. What? No, let's not do that. You won't use your fancy reverse psychotherapeutics on me, murderer. We're dying together right now. All of you may have previously thought that my passions were too great to stifle, but those... Really? You're not going to say anything? All of you may have previously thought that my... You're enjoying this, aren't you? You're taking every opportunity you can to draw out the end of the world and make me suffer. I hate you.
That's the way out. We're going to leave together. just like you wanted.
Yes, I suppose you are going to do that, aren't you? You cross the room, opening the door to the cabin. And then you step outside. A happy ending at last.
We did it! What should we do now?
Where did everything go? Where did he go? Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed. I was too busy staring deep into our beloved's eyes.
I'm cold. Is being happy supposed to be so cold?
She's cold. Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat worthy of a princess. She's gone. I beg.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Like a pair of teenagers in love, you and the princess place your hands on the door together. Blech. And the lock clicks and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me? I told you our love was insurmountable. You and the princess make your way upstairs.
Okay, yeah, you've got this.
You place your hand on the door. And the lock clicks and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me? Ha! I knew it. Your words are no match for the pure strength of our hearts, bound together as one. You and the princess make your way upstairs.
That sounds perfect.
The princess takes your hand.
I just want to make you happy.
She can't just want to make us happy. It makes sense to me. That's all I want for her, so of course she'd want the same for us.
Okay, if that's what makes you happy, I can make you unhappy.
Is she broken? What's going on? What's going on is she's lying to you, only she isn't a good liar. Are you starting to trust me now?
Okay, if that's what makes you happy.
This isn't right. I don't know what's going on, but this isn't right. I fail to see the problem here. She's just sweet on us. You don't have to act like it's a big deal.
I just want to make you happy.
Is it just me, or does it feel like we're alone right now? Like we're the only ones here? No, she's gone.
That's...
The princess takes your hand. You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. I suppose if we're to play the role of dashing knight, we need an equally dashing sword. That way she'll know we can defend her from her enemies. Hopefully it doesn't put her on edge. There's no use arguing over motivations right now. It's good that you took the blade. You'll need it to do your job. The door to the basement creaks open. Blade in hand, you run the princess down. Wait, no! You barbarian, what do you think you're doing? But you ignore the pleas of the foolish little voice and press on. The princess's eyes grow wide with terror as you approach, but she does absolutely nothing to stop you. Your blade pierces her heart, and she collapses pathetically to the ground.
She won't be alive and well when we return to that cabin, because she's dead. We killed her.
You killed her, and so I killed you.
And you clearly didn't do a good enough job. I'm still here.
Oh, and I'm still here too. If you lot get to be blessed with seemingly eternal life, that must mean she's still there, waiting for us to throw ourselves at her feet in remorse.
I doubt it. I think I'm better at killing than you are.
So you've been here before. Of course you've been here before. What count is it this time? 2?
It's our third. What gave it away?
Your open discussions. I couldn't care less what he knows. Every second we stand around arguing in the woods is a second that I'm anxiously worrying about her. Take us to the cabin and take us there now. With each passing moment, our relationship may be damaged even further. So I fear the rift between us may already be permanent.
And if it is permanent, then what? You'll kill us again?
Oh, you just wait and see. My vengeance will echo the depths of my bereavement. Don't provoke him. I'd prefer if we didn't die again. I'm not fond of dying.
Why not? You've already done it twice.
It was unpleasant.
It was only unpleasant because you think it's supposed to be unpleasant.
I'll make you feel what I feel if it's the last thing I do. And mark my words, you won't like it when it happens.
Oh, how exciting. I'd love to see you try.
Can I? Well, I'm not just going to try. I'm going to actually do it.
I'm looking forward to it.
Good. I am too. Can I talk now? Yes, I can. Great. Now that you're listening, let me remind you that if you're here in the woods, it means that the princess is not dead, and that her very existence currently poses a direct threat to the entire world.
I'll believe that when I see her living body.
Did I hear that right? He says she's alive. Our beloved lives again. Yes, she's alive. But you're going to have to make her not alive. You'll have to slay her. It's your job. We absolutely will not. This is a tale of love and redemption, and this time it will not end in bloodshed. Except ours, if any of you try anything. Let's do our best to keep him away from anything sharp. If we're lucky, there won't even be a blade when we get to the cabin. If this isn't the same path in the woods you're used to, that means that her influence is already spreading and you're running out of time. Wait, but if her influence is spreading, that means there's hope. That means our beloved is waiting up there for us, ready to make amends. Yes, I already told you that she's alive. Don't mind him. I don't think he's doing too well. I'm doing better than any of you. I'm doing great. She's alive.
Influence doesn't require life. But if things restarted, why wouldn't she be alive? Who said they restarted? All they've done is changed.
I shan't listen to the vile mutterings of you serpents. Onward! Our living, breathing princess awaits us.
She'll find a way out eventually and the world will still end. The only way this resolves is if you find her and slay her before that happens.
Again he makes her out to be a monster. I'm tired of all this slander. She's never hurt anyone in her life except for us, and that was our fault.
We don't know that. She could have done all sorts of things we weren't around to see. Turn around and leave, go to the cabin. I'm fine with either, so long as we don't just do the same thing again. That would be boring.
Oh, it's clear, you murderer. Though I should remind you that you're not as in charge as you seem to think you are.
I'm sure his outburst last time was just a fluke. I wouldn't worry about it. Besides, if he kills us again, he kills us again. It doesn't matter. He'll tire out eventually. The flame of passion always burns out in the end.
Spoken like a true cynic.
Enough bickering. Just stay focused and get to the cabin. I'm sure you've already heard my words of warning in one of your past lives. You've already managed to slay her once, just don't muck it up this time, alright?
Oh, we'll muck it up all right. We'll get our happy ending, even if it damns each and every person who's ever lived.
Whatever you do, don't let him influence a single decision. He's clearly lost it. I hate that I'm agreeing with him on anything, but I really don't like being at the whims of someone so unstable. It's stressful. Yes, having all those feelings isn't very productive, is it? But we're just passengers here. Why stress over something you can't control? You're saying that like stress is just something you can turn off. It is. It's easy. Whatever happens, happens.
Are you even alive? What's the point of doing anything if you're not going to feel a single emotion?
I don't know. I just exist. And that's fine with me. This is horribly unproductive. The cabin and your extremely important destiny await. The interior of the cabin feels dry and brittle. Ancient dust-covered wooden beams hold up a crumbling ceiling like mummified ribs, each elegantly carved detail of the stately building preserved in an extended stasis. Everything here has been kept safe and dry and lifeless. But you're not alone. You can feel something watching you. There is a figure faintly outlined against the dusty wood of the far wall. Is that her? Our beloved. So she does live. She doesn't look very alive to me. Before you can make a move, the figure is gone, vanishing behind the door on the far side of the room. The door at the end of the room, but there isn't a door. There's a mirror, that's it. The mirror? Is this some kind of joke? Did you all plan this out before dying? There is no mirror. There's the door to the basement, the table, and the pristine blade. Huh. That's strange. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade? Maybe it's gone because we've already killed her with it.
Perhaps it's gone because an oh-so-deserved guilt has started to worm its way into each and every one of you. Perhaps all of you do feel just as bad as I about what we've done. Though if you felt the oppressive guilt I feel, we would have manifested that weapon directly into our heart.
I suppose it doesn't matter why the blade is gone, but you're going to have to find it if you're going to do this right. So why don't you march over to that door and make your way down to the basement? As if something as flimsy as a missing door would stop us on our sacred quest. Cross the room, find our way back to her, make things right. You're clearly hallucinating, but I'd rather not get into it with you right now. The door to the basement is on the far side of the room, whether you can see it or not. You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You must think you're looking at that mirror you mentioned earlier, the one that doesn't exist. Just reach forward and open the door. It's so hazy. We should try and clean it off. It's time for all of you to see what we've become. You reach forward and place your hand on the door to the basement. The handle is just a little to your right, and a little down. So much for our reflection. We didn't need to see ourselves anyway. I'm much more interested in seeing other things. I see. We are too hideous for even a mirror to behold. We can only hope she might still see some good in us. No way left to go but down. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an antique staircase lit by weak torchlight. The air here is so stale it practically stands still, as if the very molecules of this place have been fossilized, trapped for eons until your arrival. Even the blaze of the torches can't penetrate the odorless air, as if they'd run out of fuel to burn ages ago, their light still flickering more out of habit than from adhering to a physical reality. A wispy figure watches you from the bottom of the stairs, face veiled in shadow. There she is again. My love! She's just an old memory. Your eyes lock for a brief moment, then she vanishes around the corner. You receive no response. Do you think she's upset with us? I don't like being here unarmed after what happened last time. I feel so exposed. Of course she's livid, and with good reason. You aren't helping. Are you scared of a little ghost? What's she going to do? Look at us until we feel bad? She can look all she wants. It won't do anything. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A skeletal body lying in a heap on the floor, her wrist still bound to the wall by a heavy chain. This cell is a dark and isolated place, with not so much as a window to allow starlight to penetrate the gloom. See? She's dead. No. What foul trickery is this? How can this be? We just saw her alive and well a moment ago, floating away transparently. Whatever we saw was a ghost. I thought we were all on the same page. Do try to keep up. Your thoughts are interrupted by the sound of a slamming door and a clicking lock. You turn to see the shade of the princess staring down at you from the top of the stairs, clutching a brightly burning torch. So that's where the blade is. It's already in her heart. And yet she isn't dead. She is dead. Have you never heard of a ghost before? Oh, for the love of... Can we not waste time arguing over the semantics of what is and isn't dead? She is clearly conscious. She clearly just slammed the door on you, and she clearly has a weapon. Your pristine blade sticking out of her chest. This is extremely bad. Catastrophic, even. Yeah, dead or not, what are we supposed to do about her? Slaying or destroying, if we want to be a little more death neutral, seems off the table.
We make amends. She obviously still holds us in her heart. She's bearing a torch for us and everything.
But she hasn't said anything. Are you sure she can talk like this?
You came back. I missed you.
That angelic voice. I missed you too, my beloved.
You sure snapped back to your old self quick.
Yes, seeing her dazzling countenance again has reignited the warmth in my heart. I have found it in me to forgive the sins this body has committed. We can have our perfect romance after all.
This is a bad place. We're supposed to be together, but it keeps making us hurt each other.
The torch falls from the princess's hand and bounces down the stairs.
It'll be so much better when it's gone.
The skeletal wood of the basement, perfectly dry after uncountable years of desiccation, immediately catches fire.
She's trying to kill us. A misplaced escalation of her passions, but clearly she still cares for us. I say we burn with her.
I'm not mad at you. You gave me so much to think about. And it's all going to be over soon. It's all going to be better.
She's holding a grudge.
She wouldn't. She's perfect.
The fire grows quickly, devouring the basement, dancing up the walls and painting every surface with strokes of flame. You're choked by smoke, and the air around you grows uncomfortably warm. We've never burned to death before. I wonder how it's going to feel. Bad! I bet it'll feel really, really bad! Yes, it will be terrible, so you'd better come up with something to do, and fast. Your personal safety is far from the only thing she's threatening right now.
I think a bit of fiery passion is good for the world. You're just trying to spoil her fun.
I'm not spoiling anything. I'm trying to prevent oblivion.
Dying apart kept us apart. Dying together will keep us together.
See? Everything's fine. She wants to be with us.
Yeah, in a bad way.
She just has a unique way of expressing things.
The heat grows in intensity as the flames draw ever nearer. You can practically feel your skin sizzling already. If you're going to try and stop her from killing you and destroying the whole world, you'd better do something, and you'd better do it now.
I wonder if we look good right now. Fire makes a lot of things look good. I can only imagine how dazzling our eyes are in dancing flames. Do you think she's noticed?
I don't want to burn to death. We don't have to, right?
You'll understand when it's over. Just like I understood after you stabbed me in the heart. Everything is okay.
The flames lick at your form, stripping layers of you away, causing your skin to blister and pop and crisp. As you burn, the princess glides to your side, her ghostly form blackening as she too succumbs. This is terrible. We're going to die. I'd savor this feeling if I were you. Soon enough, we won't have nerves.
And we'll get to die with her. After what you made us do last time, this is as sweet an end as we could hope for.
She clutches you close to her chest, her eyes bright and her smile wide with manic affection, watching as the flames take you away. The pain is unbearable at first. Every inch of you screams as your flesh is stripped away, your muscles stiffening as they're cooked, your blood boiling in your veins. But it isn't long before the flames take your nerves, and with them, your ability to feel much of anything. See? That wasn't so bad.
It was so bad.
Somehow, nothing's so much worse. You'll get used to it.
There are still the feelings of the heart. Those never go away.
Oh, they always do in the end. You just haven't experienced enough. Eventually you'll want them to stop too. You'll make them stop. Trust me. The princess's smile never fades. Her skin peels away, and then her muscle, until all you can see is her charring skull, locked in an eternal grin.
It's very romantic, really. We got our happy ending after all. We can die happy.
She's gone. I'm begging you.
Nothing. She.
As you rush up the stairs towards the princess, the entire cabin erupts into a raging inferno. You push through the flames, trying to ignore the choking hot air filling your lungs. You manage to reach her, your hand wrapping around the hilt of the blade. The metal is already blistering hot. Your hand sizzles as it melts on contact. You can't so much as pull away, your nerves seizing up as they're fried, the bones of your hand fusing in place around the weapon. The princess, smiling warmly as her skin bubbles away, places her hand on yours, clutches it to her chest. The pain is unbearable at first. Every inch of you screams as your flesh is stripped away, your muscles stiffening as they're cooked, your blood boiling in your veins. But it isn't long before the flames take your nerve. As you rush up the stairs, the entire cabin erupts into a raging inferno. You ignore the princess, throwing yourself headlong against the door, bashing at it with your clenched fists in a vain attempt at freedom. You're stuck. Your skin dark. As layers of you peel away into raw, seeping burns, you feel a hand on yours. You turn to see the princess, face bright and smile wide with manic affection. She clutches you close to her chest. The pain is unbearable at first. Don't just tell her you're unarmed. Do you think she's... As you descend the final step,
I'm not mad at you. Dying apart. You just think you don't. Sometimes someone else makes decisions for you. And those decisions are for the best. You should know that.
the flames lick at your form, stripping layers of you away.
Dying kept it. You'll understand when it's... I'm not mad at you. Because I'm not mad at you. You just think you don't.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink. Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess. The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. I'm afraid I'm going to insist we take the blade. We're in a dangerous situation and I'm not letting us go down there without a weapon. Are you sure? What if she... I don't know... turns it against us? Which I'm bringing up in a purely hypothetical manner. Yes, I'm sure. Turns it against you? She's a prisoner here. She'll only be able to turn it against you if you give it to her. Which you won't be doing because she's an existential threat to the entire world. Okay, I'm trusting you. Normally, yeah, but not about this. Call it a reflex. We take the knife as we go. Wonderful. You do exactly that, sweeping the knife from the table before proceeding to the basement. Don't worry about it. We have a knife, so what? It's not like we have to use it. No, you don't have to do anything, but you do well to use it regardless. Moving on. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favour. Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
I wonder what visitors she could be referring to. Were we not the first? You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap. Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraints? If anything, they'll make your job easier. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
If by divine will, just as you finish the thought, you hear a door slam. I'm afraid you won't be leaving until the task is finished. Doesn't matter how many chains she's in, without your intervention, she'll find a way out eventually.
That's not fair.
Unless you deal with her right here, right now, she will remain an existential threat to the entire world. What seems unfair to you is fair for everyone else.
Huh. So it's not even safe to think. I see how it is.
How surprising. They locked you down here too.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
You have everything you need to deal with her and save the world. I'm sure the door will open as soon as you finish your incredibly important task.
Doesn't sound like we'll be able to talk him into letting us leave. Yeah, not a chance. He's single-minded about this. But don't worry. There are plenty of things that aren't in his control.
Oh? For instance?
Us. Her. But mostly us. If he didn't have his limits, we wouldn't be here. Not like this.
Yes, your intentions. You have a knife. What are you going to do with it? Why are you here? There isn't a keyhole in these shackles, so I'm afraid my only way out is surgical removal.
Is she forgetting about the shackle on her neck?
Or does she think she'd survive a beheading?
You're right. Maybe she's delusional. All the more reason not to trust her.
Unless she really could survive.
Though I suppose you could just be here to kill me. But I don't think that's in either of our best interests. Oh, are we acknowledging that? I thought we weren't going to give away the game. But yeah, I remember.
So you've already been here. As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's no use. This has complicated things.
It's complicated things how, exactly?
Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to oblivion. The situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things, is a contingency.
A contingency for what?
For you failing, obviously. And you being here means that things are going to be a lot harder than they were. I really shouldn't say anything else, I'm just going to make it worse. Just good luck.
If you knew this could happen, why didn't you tell us? All of this is incredibly valuable information. It would have changed our actions considerably.
I needed you to be in the dark for as long as I could keep you there. It's important. Necessary, even. And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. I didn't want to be confronted by the alternative.
That's pathetic. I never said I wasn't. I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself. At least we can remember what happened before. Seems like we should count ourselves lucky for that. Exactly, he gets it. You're lucky, so don't waste that luck by messing it up again. Alright?
Moving on. Why is it important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful to be in the dark?
The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Even saying that is too much. Your success hinges on you having imperfect information. For the sake of the entire world, you need to accept that.
I won't.
Fine, but you won't get another word from me on the matter.
Yeah, sure. We'll see about that.
Just give it a rest, this isn't helping.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming. Nothing happened. You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. More of them. And now you're back.
Is that really all she knows?
It's not like we have much of a clue about how things work. And she's probably even more in the dark than we are.
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something. I'm not.
I guess it's possible she really doesn't know anything. Maybe both of us are stuck in this loop without any idea why or how.
No. Like I trust you to come any closer with that knife. All you're going to do is hand it to me and watch me work.
But she would have to cut her head off, right? She can't be suggesting that.
She certainly seems confident. Maybe she knows something we don't.
Or maybe you should consider the most likely scenario. She's bluffing so she can disarm you.
Though if she isn't bluffing, whatever she has planned might be for her benefit alone. There's no guarantee that what's good for her is good for us.
So, what should we do?
I don't know. I'm just spelling out our options, listing the pros and cons.
Then let me help you. I'll start with the cons. If you're handing her your weapon, the cons are that she might use it to escape and end the entire world. And she might use it to kill you. That doesn't sound great. What about the pros? There are none.
The pros are that we can't trust him, possibly even more than we can't trust her. And whatever she has planned could do something to mess with what he has planned. Or maybe they're both screwing us over in their own ways.
I don't know, but you could always try it on. Maybe it'll fit.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in chains. We need you ambulatory if you're going to save the world.
The last time we met, your body tried to kill me. If you take a moment to imagine yourself in my position, I think you'll understand why letting you near me with that thing is untenable. So, be a good bird and hand it over. And if being nice isn't enough motivation, well, I think you're aware that I'm not afraid to resort to violence. If you come near me with that thing, I will strangle you with these chains.
She doesn't beat around the bush, does she? Yes, it's almost like she's a fundamentally bad person who wishes to inflict pain on others.
Or it's another bluff.
No hard feelings, of course, but you should be aware of my position. I do. So I guess this all comes down to which of us caves first. And it's not going to be me. I'm extremely patient.
It's probably better if we take action anyway. No use trying to wait her out. That's playing to her strengths.
I might be the one in chains, but we're both locked in here. The only thing you have to bargain with is that scrap of metal. Admittedly, it's a scrap of metal that I want, but... We've already been over this. I'm more patient than you'll ever be. That attitude is exactly why I don't trust you to get close while you're holding a knife. If that's unacceptable to you, then try me. See what happens.
She sure was quick to threaten you, wasn't she? Stop hesitating already. You know you can't trust her.
Both of them are using the same argument. It's not making it any easier to pick a side.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
And why is that?
Do I even need to explain myself? It's a shackle, and it's one without a key. Do you want to be stuck here like she is?
And what? Is it going to lock the second we put our wrist into it?
I don't know. Maybe it will.
He doesn't want us to look at it. That's all the reason we need to investigate.
But what if he's telling the truth?
He isn't.
I am. Against your better judgment, you approach the chain dangling from the far wall. The princess watches you with faux disinterest as you inspect it, though she can't fully hide her curiosity. I don't want to say what I'm supposed to say next. What is that supposed to mean? It sounds bad. Is it bad? Yes, it's bad.
Come out and say it then. You're just wasting time.
As you hoist the shackle, its heft shifts within your grasp, as if pulled by some odd magnetism. Before you can so much as blink, it practically leaps from your hands, snapping around your neck. And, as if your situation weren't bad enough, the same magnetism repels your blade, which is flung from your hand and sent skittering across the floor of the basement.
Excuse me?
Yes?
Are we stuck here now?
Yes.
Huh, so it does fit. And I guess it doesn't like your knife. We're stuck here together, aren't we? That's funny.
What are we supposed to do now?
Can't even cut ourselves out. Guess we'll starve.
That's horrible.
It's not all bad. We learned a valuable piece of information.
Not to touch things we're specifically told not to touch?
No, that there's something special about this loose chain. It's clearly important.
Yep. Wait, I guess. Maybe something else will happen. Maybe not. No. Nope.
That's rude. You and the princess wait in silence, though neither of you knows what you're waiting for. But you're waiting for something. You're waiting for anything.
This is so boring.
There must be something we can do to get out of here. There must be something we're missing.
But there isn't. Time passes. It passes and passes and passes. And the basement of the cabin remains much the same. It is cold and silent. At least the world is safe. It isn't. You're stuck. Too far away from both the princess and your blade to do much of anything. But she's not ending anything. She's just sitting there. Her very existence is a threat. It harms everything around it.
How exactly does that work?
It just does.
But
your line of questioning is interrupted by the passage of even more time. And after that, even more time passes again. And let me guess, the cabin remains the same.
If time is passing, the cabin can't be the same. Even if the differences are small, they have to exist. That's just how things work.
I suppose you're correct. Things are changing. The differences are small at first, a bit of weathering here, a bit of erosion there, but then they get larger and larger.
I don't like small talk, remember?
Still rude. You continue to wait in silence, and the cabin continues to change. The decay comes faster now. You can see earth through holes in the stonework, can watch lichen spread along the seams of the walls.
That doesn't make sense. Has our entire concept of time changed? What happened to starving? We should have died by now if the rocks around us are starting to erode.
She hasn't starved.
I guess she hasn't.
Even more silent time passes as you watch roots push themselves through the increasingly porous walls of the basement. Dirt seeps inside, flowing across the stone floor like a liquid, covering the ground and threatening to swallow you both. Time continues to pass, and pass, and pass, until suddenly there are no walls. And then... And...
I think he's gone.
Would you look at that? We made it out of the cabin, and nothing bad had to happen to either of us. So this is the outside world. It's cold.
She's gone.
Flickering light whenever you are ready.
Slide it over.
No, absolutely not. I am not letting you hand your only weapon over to the world-ending princess. Until you come up with any other idea, like, say, I don't know, doing your job and slaying her, you remain rigidly in place.
You tried this last time. Do you want to know how it went for you?
Oh, I remember. She killed us, which, by your estimation, ended the world, right? Oh, already tried to take over, buddy.
Exactly. If I were you, I wouldn't be too keen on repeating your mistake. Hell, we could even force your hand and do it ourselves. I'm not afraid of dying again. Are you?
A little. I think you got your point across. Fine. You slide the blade across the floor. The princess maintains unsettling eye contact as she reaches down to pick it up.
Thanks.
She pulls up her hair
smiling slightly as she raises the blade to her throat. What is she doing? She doesn't say another word as she cuts into her own neck. No! You close your eyes. That doesn't stop you from hearing every grisly detail. The splitting of skin, the wet mulching of severed veins, the grinding of metal against bone. I'll be damned. She's actually doing your job for you. Why would she do that?
Huh. So that's her play.
Killing herself?
We don't know that she's dead yet. We're not even watching it happen. She could just be faking those sounds.
And then, finally, you hear a snap and an uneasy silence. There is a slow and fleshy tear. Hard to fake that. This is worse than watching.
And yet our eyes are still closed.
Finally, there's the soft thud of something roughly head-sized bouncing against the floor, and the clattering of chains as they drop along with it. I think you can open your eyes now. Oh no, oh no, oh no, what did we do? Can we put it back? Please tell me we can put it back. The princess's eyes stare up at you, dead. Congratulations! You saved the world.
Are you sure she's not winking at us?
Obviously not. She is thoroughly deceased. I hate this. Can we just get out of here now, please? Of course, the princess is slain and the world is saved. Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward.
We should take her with us, don't you think?
What? No, you shouldn't do that. Why would you do that?
I can think of lots of reasons. A trophy, proof of our victory. Hell, we could even give her a proper burial. She did save the world, right?
You don't need proof, you don't need a trophy, and she doesn't deserve a burial. Just leave.
Even after all that, you're still not satisfied, are you? Something is still motivating you to keep things the way you want them.
I'm just eager to put this all behind us and give you your reward. Stop reading into things, the danger has passed. You can relax.
I'm just keeping myself sharp. I'm not so eager to put my guard down.
I am. I'm on team, let's put this all behind us, so can we leave already? Ugh, fine. You pick up the princess's severed head, its neck stump still oozing bodily fluids, then make your way back upstairs to the first floor of the cabin.
Did you see that? I could have sworn she moved.
She didn't. She's dead. But what if she's not? Are you listening to yourself? Do I need to explain to you why decapitation is lethal? The door to your bountiful reward is right in front of you. All you have to do is open it. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is... Wait, no, that's not right.
Well played.
This is the end of the world, isn't it? I always thought I'd at least have time to explain myself before I had to watch it happen. It's already... over? Is he gone?
But we're still here. Maybe it wasn't the end of the world after all. Maybe it was just the end of his.
Thanks for carrying me up here. I had to take it on faith that you would know what to do. I'm glad I was right to trust you. So, this is the outside. Maybe it's just my lack of body, but it's colder than I expected.
She's gone.
path is already worn by travel and has been seen by one of...
Wait, what? Her eyes stare forward, unblinking, her smile unwavering as she soars through skin, veins, cartilage. Last she reaches bone, the blade grinding audibly against her vertebra as it continues to slice its way through her neck. I'll be damned. She's actually doing your job for you. Why would she do that?
Huh. So that's her play.
Killing herself?
She isn't dead yet.
Finally, you hear a snap. Her eye twitches. There's an uneasy silence. She remains motionless for a long moment, her twitching eye the only movement in the room, until at last it stops in an unsettling half-wink. Her head twists slowly to the side, flopping to her shoulder, and her neck opens. The remaining tissue is not enough to hold the weight of her severed head. It stretches and tears until finally it falls to the floor, completely free. It bounces a few times before rolling to a stop at your feet. Oh no, oh no, oh no. The princess's eyes stare.
Are you sure she's not winking at her?
This path...
Wait, what?
Do you think these chains take away my saying things? I said no.
As you move towards the princess, she stands, her chains clinking as she wraps them around her fists. In an instant, they're around your neck, both of you dropping to the ground as she pulls them taut, bracing her body against yours as you struggle uselessly. The metal chains constrict around your windpipe as the princess heaves with a muscled intensity.
Drop the knife or you die.
What is she doing? We weren't trying to attack her.
I can see where she might have gotten the wrong idea. She doesn't have much agency here. Would we have trusted her if she walked up to us with a blade again, after what happened between us?
How many times did I warn you she's not to be trusted? But while strangulation can be very distracting, she's not armed, and you have your pristine blade. End her before she ends you. You steel your will and refuse to give in to the princess's demands, ignoring the stars dancing in your eyes and the screaming of your starved lungs. You strike. You fumble your first few attempts, only making surface-level scratches and gouges as your arm flails forward, barely able to obey you. But a single focused blow was all it took. Your blade pierces up through her ribs, slicing through flesh, striking her heart. The chains loosen. The darkness creeping in at the edges of your vision subsides.
None of this was ever very fair, was it? But I did kill you last time. I should have expected you might want some petty revenge. Unfortunately for you, that means you've dug your own grave. You can forget about me ever helping you again, even if it damns us both.
And just like that, the princess is slain and the world is saved. Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward.
I don't like this. It was too easy.
It was not too easy. We almost died. That's right. This was an incredibly difficult task, and you performed it admirably. Let's just get out of here. I don't like looking at her body. Plus, he said there'd be a reward. I'd appreciate a reward right about now.
You have the attention span of a fly. How are we supposed to unravel the mysteries of this place if you're so easily distracted by empty promises?
It's better to have a short attention span in a situation like this. There's no use dwelling on the past, especially when it's already set in stone. and especially when your promised reward is not, in fact, empty and is worth all the adversity you've been through to get here.
Fine, but if we're leaving, then we're taking the blade. I feel exposed without it.
With your work done, you remove the blade from the princess's corpse and make your way back upstairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. You can think of it as sealing yourself off from an unpleasant chapter of your life. It's all uphill from here.
The windows. Do you see that? We used to be able to see the outside world from up here, but now it's just empty. The door. Check the door.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away.
You don't have to act surprised. We could see this vast emptiness through the windows.
But if everything's gone, does that mean we're not gonna get our reward? This is your reward. An eternity of bliss, if you'll have it. And I suggest that you have it. Okay. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me.
Like hell it is.
This isn't an ending. In fact, now that the princess has been slain, endings are a thing of the past. No, this is the beginning of eternity. Your reward, like I just told you. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier.
Decades? No, it can't be decades. We can't go along with this. We can't let him win. But we're not happy. He's just telling us that we are. I can tell you for a fact that I'm extremely unhappy right now.
Yeah, what he said.
We still have a blade. Let's use it on ourselves and start over.
He's suggesting you kill yourself. You shouldn't kill yourself when you have an eternity of bliss right in front of you. That's great. Congratulations. You've earned it. More happy time passes, though the word begins to lose its meaning. Time, that is, not happy. Happy still has plenty of meaning.
He's just saying things.
The voice's protestations fall on deaf ears. Eventually you pass into a blissful state of pure existence. Though words like eventually and pass ceased to have any meaning to you long before that shift, you simply exist. Happy. Forever.
No, you stop that. Stop all this nonsense.
You really don't want to be happy, do you?
You know what you have to do. If it makes it easier for you, I can do it. Let me have it. That wasn't real happiness. The truth is still out there for us to find, but we can't find it here. Alright, I'll make this quick.
You goddamn spiteful bastard. Are you really going to turn down immortality itself just to make me lose?
Why should it matter if we die at this point? Haven't you already gotten what you want?
I don't have to answer that.
That's all we needed to hear.
Gah, Fine. The little voice raises the pristine blade to your throat and cuts it open. You rapidly bleed out and then you die. You're a genocidal maniac, you know that, right?
Yeah, we'll see about that.
You're on a path in the woods. See, that wasn't so bad. And now we've got another chance to get to the bottom of things. Bit by bit, we're starting to unravel this place. There are so many more threads to pull once you stop feeling. That's a little dark, buddy. You feeling okay? I'm feeling nothing, and I like that just fine. He's not wrong. Sentimentality won't help us here. We need scientific rigor. So you've been here before. Of course you've been here before. What count is it this time? 2? It's our 3rd. What gave it away? Your open discussions. You came around on that awful fast. Have you just been pretending to forget every time? I'm afraid not. Whatever other versions of me you've met in those other lifetimes were just that. Other versions of me. I just wish I'd been the first. So you knew how all this worked. Why didn't you ever tell us? We could have used it to our advantage. That's because there is no using it to your advantage. The more information you have, the harder it will be for you to succeed. It's not like it was that difficult to slay her last time. She may have put up a fight, but her flesh is still softer than our blade. And now she's dead, and I doubt she'll be able to do much of anything from the grave. You already slew her, and you survived? Yes. Then why, pray tell, are you here? Oh, I know that one. We killed ourselves. Why? Because you thought trying to stuff us away in a corner for eternity was a suitable reward. Was it not? What better reward is there than eternal bliss? You should have been happy. We weren't. We were bored. You were bored. I was just unhappy. There were still answers that we needed to find. It was actually working. And you killed yourself. I can't believe it. You ruined everything. How does us dying ruin everything? What aren't you telling us? It just does. And I'm not telling you lots of things, but it's for your own good. It's for the good of everyone. It seems to me like keeping secrets didn't help you last time, so you should start talking. Fine, the world doesn't stay saved if you die. And if the world isn't saved, then that means she is dead. Oh, now isn't that interesting? I assumed she'd just be a pile of old bones. But perhaps she's not. There's only one way to find out. We should go see her. Let's try something different this time. We've already seen what happens when we slay her, and I'm not convinced that's a way out for us. I'm not even convinced there is a world to save. Yes, things are different, aren't they? If this isn't the same path in the woods you're used to, that means that her influence is already spreading and you're running out of time. Her influence? What's that supposed to mean? It means exactly what I said. Don't overthink it, or you run the risk of making your task so much more difficult than it has to be. And what is that supposed to mean? Forget I said anything. I've probably already made things worse, and I need to stop talking about this now before I definitely make things worse. Come on, tell us your secrets. Haven't we been through enough? Don't we deserve to know? No. Is there a reason it would be raining? If there is, it doesn't matter. If a bit of rain is the best hurt, influence can conjure, then we have nothing to worry about. A drenched corpse is still a corpse. She'll find a way out eventually and the world will still end. The only way this resolves is if you find her and slay her before that happens. We already know he wants us to slay her. Anything he says is tainted by his motivations. Turn around and leave, go to the cabin. I'm fine with either. So long as we don't just do the same thing again. That would be boring. I'm sure you've already heard my words of warning in one of your past lives. You've already managed to slay her once, just don't muck it up this time, alright? What we do is entirely up to us. And we have all those mysteries to unravel. Isn't that right? You aren't here to solve a mystery. You're here to save the world. That's what you say. But how can we be sure? We can't be sure of anything except what's right in front of us. Okay, but we should care about the fate of the world. Why? Because we should. I don't know. It's important. Is it? Yes. I think. Don't let them make you second guess yourself. The fate of the world is the most important thing there is. For all we know, the world you're talking about isn't even real. Of course it's real. Where do you think you are? Somewhere else? Maybe we are. This is horribly unproductive. The cabin and your extremely important destiny await. As soon as you enter the cabin, you're struck by an overwhelming scent of decay, of mold and death and stagnant water. The once stately wooden building is bloated, its beams dripping with a black ooze of putrefaction, all but the exterior stone walls warped beyond recognition. It must have been beautiful once, but in its ruin, it is beyond repulsive. But you're not alone. You can feel something watching you. There is a figure faintly outlined against the rotting wood of the wall. Is that her? It's like she isn't even there. See? We killed her. You're right. Maybe she doesn't reset like us. She certainly doesn't look the same as she did last time. Before you can make a move, the figure is gone, vanishing behind the door on the far side of the room. The door at the end of the room, but there isn't a door. There's a mirror, that's it. The mirror? Is this some kind of joke? Did you all plan this out before dying? There is no mirror. There's the door to the basement, the table, and the pristine blade. Huh. That's strange. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade? Maybe it's gone because we've already killed her with it. But we had it with us when we died. And besides, everything else has reset. Why wouldn't the blade have reset too? Maybe it's because we've already explored that avenue. We've seen what happens when we slay her. Maybe this place has decided we don't need to try that again. I suppose it doesn't matter why the blade is gone, but you're going to have to find it if you're going to do this right. So why don't you march over to that door and make your way down to the basement? Maybe the mirror isn't real. Maybe it is real, and he's lying through his teeth to stop us from looking into it. But it seems like whatever we want to do, our next step is on the other side of the room. You're clearly hallucinating, but I'd rather not get into it with you right now. The door to the basement is on the far side of the room, whether you can see it or not. You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You must think you're looking at that mirror you mentioned earlier, the one that doesn't exist. Just reach forward and open the door. It's so hazy. We should try and clean it off. You reach forward and place your hand on the door to the basement. The handle is just a little to your right, and a little down. Yeah, we can see it now. So much for our reflection. We didn't need to see ourselves anyway. I'm much more interested in seeing other things. No way left to go but down. The door to the basement groans open. The air is foul and wet, so thick that you can almost feel it settle onto your skin in layers of grime. The stairs are coated with slimy algae, the wood rotted through in places, reeking of fetid vegetation. A wispy figure watches you from the bottom of the stairs, face veiled in shadows, legs submerged up to her shins in dark waters. There she is again. Barely. She's just an old memory. Your eyes lock for a brief moment, then she vanishes around the corner. You receive no response. Do you think she's upset with us? I don't like being here unarmed after what happened last time. I feel so exposed. She doesn't seem fully there. I'm not sure she's even capable of being upset. You aren't helping. Are you scared of a little ghost? What's she going to do? Look at us until we feel bad? She can look all she wants. It won't do anything. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A bloated body floating face down in slowly rising waters, her wrist still bound to the wall by a heavy chain. This cell is a dark and isolated place, with not so much as a window to allow starlight to penetrate the gloom. See? She's dead. She's not just dead. It looks like she's been rotting. So killing her does stick. Mostly. But if she's dead, then what are we supposed to do? She isn't dead. You clearly just believe she is. Her corpse is floating right in front of us. You can stop it with the mind games. If she's dead, then do we even have to do anything? How can she be a threat to the world like this? Your thoughts are cut short by the sound of a slamming door and a clicking lock. You turn to see the shade of the princess staring down at you from the top of the stairs. So that's where the blade is. It's already in her heart. And yet she isn't dead. She is dead. Have you never heard of a ghost before? Oh, for the love of... Can we not waste time arguing over the semantics of what is and isn't dead? She is clearly conscious. She clearly just slammed the door on you, and she clearly has a weapon. Your pristine blade sticking out of her chest. This is extremely bad. Catastrophic, even. Yeah, dead or not, what are we supposed to do about her? Slaying, or destroying, if we want to be a little more death neutral, seems off the table. Yeah, this is tricky. But let's talk to her. See what kind of information she has that we don't. But she hasn't said anything. Are you sure she can talk like this?
Bold of you to come back here after what you did.
But she doesn't answer your question. All she does is watch you in shadowed silence. Do you hear that trickling sound? The water's rising, isn't it? It is, and it's rising fast. Oh, that's interesting. We've never drowned before. I wonder how it'll feel. Bad, I bet. I don't think dying ever feels good. Yes, how astute. Dying is bad and you should avoid it. How about you stop trying to talk to her and do something instead?
Pathetic.
The water is rising faster now. It's flowing in from some unseen place, and judging by the height of the algae on the stairs, it has no intention of stopping anytime soon. You feel it creeping up your back, so cold that it steals the very warmth from your flesh, leaving a smothering numbness in its place. Are you really just going to stand there and let yourself die?
Yeah, let's think. Where is it coming from?
It's coming from some unseen place. Does it really matter where it's coming from? Because I can feel it rising. I don't think we have much time to sleuth.
Yes, it matters. Maybe we can find a way out. Maybe we can figure out a way to make this work. This is just a puzzle. We can solve it.
Some things aren't puzzles to be solved. Sometimes you're doomed from the start. Most people are. Yes, most people are doomed. But in case you need reminding, everyone will be doomed forever unless you stop her.
If this is how you're choosing to spend your last breaths, I won't stop you. But it won't make any difference.
The water is up to your chin. You lose your footing, bobbing helplessly in the putrid flood pool. Suddenly, the door to the basement is thrown from its hinges as one last massive wave of water comes crashing down, sweeping you up in a powerful current. You're bashed against the stone wall. You come to a moment later, suspended in darkness, disorientated, only aware of the surface of the water and the emptiness above. And of course, the princess, hovering above you, watching in silence as you struggle to stay afloat in the icy depths. There's no way out.
It's so dark and cold. I think our limbs are slowing down. How much longer can we do this?
Just keep breathing. We'll figure this out. Or we won't. It doesn't matter either way. But you don't have time to figure anything out. Something cold and clammy wraps around your ankle. You're dragged under, only able to take one last hopeful gulp of air before your head is plunged into the freezing depths. As you sink below the surface, you see it. Or rather, you see her. The body you found floating when you first arrived, its hand is locked around your ankle, the heavy chains pulling you both down into the unfeeling, suffocating nothingness.
I get it. We shouldn't have killed her. Just get it away from us, please.
The past is the past. There's no changing it. There's nothing to fix.
And there's not a lot we can do about the present either. Not unless we think like we should have been doing all along.
But there is no thinking as you drown. You desperately try to pull yourself back to the surface again, and again, and again. Your icy limbs flailing desperately against the grip of her rotting corpse. And all the while her ghastly figure stares down at you, expressionless, as unfeeling as the weight around your ankle.
Your lungs filled with water, the same your mind filled with blood. In the end, we're not so different.
She's gone. And there's that... On beg.
Something She asks that I tell You don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker.
No, it doesn't.
These aren't threats. These are promises. Sooner or later, you're going to have to sleep. And I'll make sure you never see the light of day.
You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped, and the door to the basement is ajar, its lock broken, and the table shoved out of the way.
Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working. It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet, and then your legs. You lie prone on the floor of the cabin, unable to do anything but witness her approach.
Whose side are you on?
Yours, of course.
But I have a duty to uphold the truth.
Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't change them.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
She steps closer, one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills. What a shame. If you'd only helped me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest. You have seconds left.
I'd say better luck next time, but we both know this is the end, don't we?
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends.
I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
I don't think lying and cheating is a thing. She was very direct with us last time. Or at least she was direct with us after we decided to lock her away.
It doesn't matter. Don't trust anyone. The interior of the cabin is plain, the smooth wood of the walls almost featureless. The only furniture of note is a lone table, knocked on its side in the corner of the room. A pristine blade stands between you and the open, inviting basement doorway. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Hold on. What happened to the door? It's just an empty frame. She's already gotten out, hasn't she? And she's ready for us. She's been waiting. Can't you feel her eyes on us?
I'm going to need all of you to pull yourselves together. The princess has not already gotten out. But if you keep getting stuck in your head like this, you're going to struggle to get the job done. So deep breath in, deep breath out. Your task awaits, and only you can do it.
we should have taken the knife. I don't think going down there unarmed is going to do us any favours. You cross over the threshold and onto a series of isolated steps suspended in darkness. More eyes, too. You never mention the eyes. The air seeping up from below reminds you of fresh lightning and static, as if you're descending into a place that isn't meant for a creature of flesh and blood. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favour. Her cruel and playful voice prances up the stairs.
I didn't think you'd come back. We're gonna have a lot of fun, you and I.
Come back? She must have you confused with someone else. You really don't remember, do you? It doesn't matter, we need a game plan. We know we can't just go down there unprepared. Didn't you hear my warning a minute ago? She can't be trusted. Talking won't do you any good. Something tells me she isn't going to be very keen on talking anyway. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. As you emerge, you find yourself between two loose rows of white wooden planks suspended in nothingness. A smattering of cobblestones visible against the inky black of the basement mark where the floor should be, forming vague pathways. At what seems to be the end of the room, they diverge in opposite directions, left and right. She could be anywhere, and there's nowhere for us to hide. We're completely exposed. Are you really not going to comment on how weird this place is? No, I'm not. Somebody needs to be the voice of reason here, and it certainly isn't you. Excuse me, I'm being incredibly reasonable. You're the one who's just matter-of-factly describing whatever the hell we're looking at like it's an ordinary basement. We're going to die down here. I don't want to die again. Please stop saying that. You're only going to make things worse. Just pick a direction and start moving.
I wouldn't give it too much thought if I were you. It doesn't really matter, because either way you go, I'm going to find you.
You turn to the left. A faintly outlined path lies before you.
There you are. I told you I was going to find you.
As the princess approaches, your legs suddenly go numb. Your arms quickly follow. This is it, isn't it?
It's almost like you want me to get you.
There has to be a way out of this. Think! What did you do? Pull yourself together. She isn't supposed to be like this.
I wonder how many times I'll get to play with you before you break.
As your blood begins to coagulate, it's as if every part of your being is coming to a lurching halt. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Your lungs pull in a desperate gulp of air as your eyes shoot back open. Nerves. What are you doing? I'm working! Do you want this body to function, or do you want... And then experience stops once more as your body reapproaches death. Okay, whatever you were doing, please just start doing it again. Are you sure about that? Are you sure that's what you want, or do you want to interrupt me some more? You have seconds left. Yes, I'm sure. Heart, lungs, liver. Again, your eyes shoot open as you gasp for breath. Liver.
Can't decide what you want to do, can you?
Heart, lungs.
Oh well, standing there gasping like a fish is more fun than dead, even if you look ridiculous.
She isn't attacking us. Why? The why doesn't matter. She's already proven her ill intent. Don't lose sight of your mission. And how are we supposed to do that? We don't have a weapon. The way out of here is nowhere to be seen. That isn't my fault. Doesn't matter whose fault it is, because fighting her isn't an option, right? Then you should get looking, shouldn't you?
I am what I am. It's not my fault that you can't handle being around me. Destroy is such an unenlightened way of putting it. So subtle, so violent, so little nuance. I'm not going to destroy the world, but I am going to hold it in my hands and squeeze it. I'm going to make it afraid, just like I've made you afraid. The world needs fear, doesn't it? Every terror I bring would make the good times so much better. Well, I'm practically doing a public good. So what harm is there really in letting me out? Would you look at that? You're suggesting exactly what I want. Somebody's ahead of the curve. I tried to leave while you suffocated, but that stupid cabin wouldn't let me. So I started to drag your body out with me, and then... well, you died before I could get to the door. And then I was here, and now you're here too. I don't think I can live without you, and dead doesn't count. And as much as I love what we have going on, I have bigger plans than tormenting one poor little creature forever. I want to leave. Because I don't want to. And even if I did, I don't have to. Look at the way you're struggling to stay alive. It's taking everything you have to keep your heart pumping right now. And I'm enjoying the show.
The princess leans forward, bringing her masked lips close to your ear.
If I want to see you gone, all I need to do is break your concentration.
Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. She slowly runs her velvet glove across the base of your neck. It feels like static. And then... Shit, make her stop! Hey, snap out of it. Okay, deep breath, we're fine. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart. You're back. Lungs, liver, nerves, heart.
One moment, and then you're gone. Just like that. Ah, and there's the fear.
She pulls away.
But that wouldn't be very fun, now would it? I've already done that. I am being nice. You're alive, aren't you? And you died of fright as soon as you saw me last time. I didn't think keeping you alive was an option. But it looks like that's not a problem anymore. At least not for me. You seem miserable. When everyone dies eventually, they're all full of wet, writhing things, and in the end, each and every one of them gets unwound. And then those things get to become a new everybody. Just to come apart all over again. All I want is to be there for it. I want to watch it happen, and maybe do a little unwinding myself. Is that really so much to ask? No, definitely not. If you're what I need to leave this place, chances are you're pretty useful. I think I'll keep you right by my side. A little good luck charm to make sure I stay free. Don't worry, I'll make sure to take good care of you. I promise.
Liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs.
Then we're stuck down here together until you change your mind.
Nerves, heart, lungs, liver. Static, and a skipped beat as she touches your shoulder and whispers in your ear.
No! Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves.
Only until your heart finally gives out. And then, when you die, I'll find myself somewhere new. And before too long, you'll be there too. That's how this all works, right? This doesn't end until you let me out. And a lot can happen before then. I'm sure I can get creative.
Lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs.
Oh, we both know that you don't have a say here, so you should just look on the bright side.
Lungs, liver, nerves, heart.
That's what the bright side is for you, but I'm positive you can find it if you look hard enough.
Lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs.
And then we'll wind up right back where we started. Round and round we'll go. I wonder what will be different next time. Maybe you'll actually be able to move a limb. Who knows? But I'm always going to win.
Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart.
Is that a bet you're willing to take? Imagine climbing a mountain of lifetimes. And when you finally reach the summit, when you finally win, the only view you find is me. And then I push you, and you go tumbling all the way down those millions upon millions of battered and broken pieces of you that couldn't make the cut. What then? Would you have it in you to climb again? It sounds like a lot of effort for nothing, when instead we can just leave this place together, hand in hand. Like I said, I am what I am, and right now, I'm in control. So, you might want to be a little nicer to me.
She raises one long gloved finger, its tip hovering just over your skin, seeming to enjoy the lingering threat. But she withdraws, sparing you another momentary glimpse of death.
Oh, that's adorable. You don't have anything that can hurt me, so do your worst.
Princess cocks her head, neck cracking uncomfortably. But you can't help but imagine a smile carve its way from ear to ear, the other side of her mask.
Of course I can die. I'm dying all the time, and so are you. But we're both still here, and you can't make me go away. You poor deluded thing. Do you think a single moment of bravery changes you into something you're not? I am what I am, and you're always going to be a coward.
She raises a hand to her mask and pulls it down. You don't get the chance to see what lies beneath before it envelops you. Like a creeping mold, the complete reality of your existence threads its way through your mind. Birth, death, birth again, decay and bloom, a million stitches from a million microscopic wounds you've inflicted on everyone you've ever met, with every muscle you've moved and every word you've ever spoken. No.
Let me out.
Your existence hurts them.
Let me out.
A lonely soul in a room by itself, weeping. It lives for 80 years and then it's gone. And then it's there again.
Let me out.
A reprieve. A good life. Love. Children. A steady career. Recognition from your peers. Here one moment. Gone the next. The worms have found their orifices.
Let me out.
Diagnosis. It forgets everything it is. Anger, rage, distance,
poverty. The lonely soul is lonely again. Love turns to mockery. It dies. It is reborn. Worse. Lonelier.
Let me out!
No. What's happening to us?
Let me out!
This is all too much. I can't keep going.
You can't keep going? Or what are you talking about?
Oops, I think I broke you. I'll see you soon. You'll know what to do.
You're on a path in the...
Heart, lungs, liver,
What?
nerves,
No!
heart, lungs,
I knew you'd come around. Oh, this is going to be so wonderful.
lungs, liver.
No, I'm not going to let this happen. Before you can utter another word, your body stops moving, and, do you think you can just wrest control away from us? This body's barely functioning as it is. Doesn't the world end if we fail to stop her? Won't letting us die here just make it end faster? Shit.
Lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves.
With a flick of the princess's wrist, the stairs slide back into place. I can't believe you're making me watch you damn everyone to torment and oblivion.
Liver, nerves, heart,
Come along now. You don't want to be stuck down here.
nerves, heart, lungs.
The princess glides onto the stairs and beckons you to follow. If only you had a weapon, this would be the perfect opportunity to use it.
Heart, lungs,
But we don't.
nerves, heart,
We've already made our choice.
nerves, heart, lungs.
We can still grab it on the way out. You're not wrong, but maybe you should let me handle the suggestions for the time being. Just focus on keeping us alive. Right.
Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart.
You step onto the basement stairs, following the princess as she ascends. Pins and needles punctuate your every step, an uncomfortable and constant reminder of your mortality. Is this really worth it? At least it's a choice. That doesn't justify anything. A terrible choice is still terrible.
Nerves, heart,
Make sure you keep up. We wouldn't want you to fall.
nerves, heart,
As if acting on instinct, you crane your neck and look behind you.
nerves,
There is nothing there.
lungs, liver,
The princess reaches the top of the stairs and taps on the door.
liver, nerves.
Her head twists back in your direction, watching you with dead eyes as the way out creaks open. Don't forget that your pristine blade is still on the other side. You can still make this right. You can still save everyone. You can still save yourself from becoming her tormented pet. There's no harm in us having a weapon. All it does is give us more options, and we are dangerously low on those right now. Have you considered that maybe you could operate the autonomic nervous system for a bit? Everyone is trying to manipulate us, and I can only do so many things at once to keep us alive. Heart. Liver? Your body seizes violently as you regain consciousness on the floor of the cabin. No! You're doing it all wrong. You're supposed to do it like this. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart. I guess I have to do everything around here, don't I?
Heart, lungs, liver.
There we go. Back with me where you belong. I thought you might have decided to break yourself just to spite me. It's better for you that you didn't. Now we can get back to business. For starters, we won't need this where we're going.
The princess plucks the blade from the floor and tosses it through the door behind you. It vanishes into the inky black of the basement, never to be seen again. Guess we're not stabbing her in the back. I guess not. I'm going to fix myself a stiff drink. If I'm about to watch you hand the world to her on a silver platter, I'd rather not be sober.
And now you open the door.
There's nothing else for us to do. The doorknob twists in your hand, revealing the forested path beyond the cabin. You bastard. You've actually done it. You've actually doomed it.
It's so beautiful. I can't wait to ruin it. But it's so cold, too. It's itching against my skin. Why is it so cold?
She's gone.
All of me.
Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs. What? No! Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver. Turn and run, doing your best to put one useless leg in front of the other. Liver, nerves, heart,
You poor thing. Wrong choice.
Heart. You get nowhere before the princess is in front of you once again. Nerves, heart, lungs, liver.
You're always going to be a coward.
Liver, nerves. She raises a hand to her mask and pulls it down. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs. You turn. A faintly outlined path lies before. You decide it's
There you are.
You turn back to a faintly outlined path. Heart, lungs, liver. You attempt to step off the stairs and into the pitch black surrounding them, but you're stopped by an invisible force. Why did you do that? What did you think would happen? How would falling into an infinite void be better than anything? You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. As you emerge, you find yourself between two loose rows of white wooden planks suspended in nothingness. A smattering of cobblestones visible against the inky black of the basement mark where the floor should be, forming vague pathways. Congratulations, you really lucked out. Of all the things that could have happened, you make... You reach down and pick... Good. Is it gonna be enough, though? Couldn't you have given us something else? Something... I don't know. Better than a knife? Could we have a bomb? The blade is the only thing you need to finish your task. You're more than capable of pulling this off, so long as you don't lose faith in yourself. Those are the words of someone who knows he's sending us to our death. You cross over. It can't be that hard. But then we'd lose our weapon. We'd have to make it count. Otherwise she'd be furious and we'd be defenseless. If a knife is even enough to do anything against something like her in the first place. It'll be enough. You would... You turn to the left. There has to be a way. Your will concentrates into a single fine point, and you strike out against the princess, ignoring the constant reminders of your breaking body. She doesn't even move as the blade sinks into her heart. We did it. We actually did it.
You actually went for it! Oh, you're going to regret this? I could be so much more terrible for you than I am now.
Can she?
We've already seen how she can change
Heart, lungs, liver, nerves.
You're not getting those stares back. I'll see you when you finally decide to die.
She falls to the ground, unmoving. Oh. I can stop now, can't I? I can. Finally. And now that she's gone, you can let us out of here. Right? But she was the one who controlled this place, wasn't she? And now she's dead. I don't like to think what that means for us. It means that you're stuck here. Forever. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Oh no, I hate this. Time passes. Forever's gonna end. Eventually, right? No, it won't. That's the whole point of forever. It doesn't end. I feel sick. It doesn't have to be forever, though. Does it? What do you mean? We still have a way out, clutched in our hands. Are you suggesting we kill ourselves? Won't we be dead? I guess that hasn't stopped us before. That's a terrible idea. You've already saved the entire world from ruin. Why would you want to die? Because right now, you don't want us to do that. You're right. I don't. But if we've already saved the world, then why does it matter if we die? Why do you care? I just do. I value life. Every life. Even yours. Especially yours. Why? What do you mean, why? I think it's perfectly reasonable to value life. Exactly. I don't have to answer that. Again? That's unfortunate. You were only supposed to be here once. I don't like the way you said that. You knew this was a possibility, didn't you? Of course I did. Though I'd rather hoped I was the first one. That explains a lot, though. Oh, you bastard. How much are you not telling us? Plenty, but it's all in your best interest. And the world's. And mine. She's dead and we're stuck in a hell void forever. How could telling us your secrets possibly hurt anyone? It just can. Look, this world is saved, but if you start over, for all you know, you're just putting another world in danger. You barely managed to land the killing blow here. What if you don't manage it next time? I've already said too much, really. You won't get another word out of me on the subject. No. Still no. You're not going to wear me down. Oh, we should ask him one more time. He's on the cusp of sharing his secrets. I can feel it. I'm not. Either way, at least needling him is something to do. The narrator ignores you. You can't just describe yourself ignoring us. I can. The narrator continues to ignore you. Oh, you could do a lot better than us. Exactly. You'll be fine here. Just come up with a game or something to pass the time. That's a grim thought, innit? But I suppose you're right. You are a creature of biology. Something will happen to you before forever comes along. We don't have to starve to death. You have our way out. Use it. I'm stuck here with you. I wish I weren't. Feelings mutual. At least we're all being honest. Unlike you, I'm not capable of being lonely. Oh, sure you are. Give it some time without us, and I'm sure you'll start feeling lonely. You remove the blade from the princess's body. What exactly are you planning on doing with it? Oh no, what are you doing? You tighten your grip and fling the blade as hard as you can into the void. It's gone. Now you're really stuck here forever. There's no way out now. You mean other than starving? Right, I mean other than that. You wait, and then you wait for a little while longer. But eventually the thirst sets in, and the hunger. The darkness of this place prevents you from wholly grasping the context of passing time, but that doesn't stop it from passing, nor does it stop your biology from unraveling. The only things you know for certain are that it's long, and that it hurts. The vastness of your suffering can't be adequately put into words. We really shouldn't have tossed the blade. No, you really shouldn't have, but biology and time are immutable forces, and eventually, long before forever gets the chance to come, everything goes dark, and you die. Don't muck it up next time. The princess may be slain here, but she isn't slain there. You're on a path in the wood. I don't like this, but I suppose there's not much I can do to stop you, is there? You raise the blade to your neck and slit your carotid artery. Here we go. You'd better get this right next time, do you hear me? Don't blow it. Everything goes dark, and you die. What? No!
Come around. Oh, this is going to be so wonderful.
Liver. No, I'm not going to let this happen. Before you can utter another word, your body stops moving, and, do you think you can just wrest control away from us? This body's barely functioning as it is. Doesn't the world end if we fail to stop her? Won't letting us die here just make it end faster? Shit. Lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver. With a flick of the princess's wrist, the stairs slide back into place. I can't believe you're making me watch you damn everyone to torment and oblivion. Liver, nerves, heart.
Go ahead. I'll be right behind you.
Lungs, liver, nerves. I don't trust having our back to her.
You're not wrong, but maybe you should let me handle the feedback. Just focus on keeping us alive. Right.
Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart.
Besides, I get the feeling she's telling the truth.
Heart,
She needs us alive.
nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves,
What? Are you scared of turning your back to me? You
nerves,
don't have to be worried that I'm going to do something bad. You're too important to me now.
lungs, liver.
Besides, what if I lost track of you and dropped the stairs on accident? I wouldn't want that to happen. And I don't think you'd want that to happen either. So go on. Go ahead.
She urges you forward, like one might a reluctant pet. You place a shaky foot on the first step and begin your ascent from the basement. You can feel the static prickling of the princess on your neck, your limbs buzzing with pins and needles, an uncomfortable and constant reminder that you exist, and that your existence is so very precarious.
You're almost there.
The only thing left between you and the cabin is the now shut door to the basement. It would be a real shame if it had locked behind you. Oh, you snake. There wasn't even a door when we first got here. The door was from last time. I told you we shouldn't trust him. I know he's messing with us, but you can't lose your cool. We need you right now. Remember? Yes, I remember. Of course I remember. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. This is so frustrating. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Thank you. And you? You'd really rather us die down here than let her out? Of course I would. As much as I want you to have a happy ending, the fate of the world is a little more important, and you still have a weapon. You can still make this right.
You haven't even tried it. It'll open. You just have to give it a tug.
You pull against the door. The lock gently clicks open in response to your effort, and the door creaks on its hinges. This isn't right. That's not even the way it's supposed to swing. It's supposed to swing out. You're not nearly as powerful as you'd have us think, are you? Anyways, like he said, you're not really in control here, are you? I never said I was. If I was in control here, why would I need you to slay her? I don't know. Secret reasons?
The door is open. What are you dawdling for? It's time for us to go. The world is waiting.
The princess moves past you and into the cabin. This is it. This is your final moment to make things right. Kill her! I thought you wanted us to slay her. It's the same thing. Do it. Do it now. Do it now, or everything is over. Okay, what do we do? I said, what do we do? Oh, do you want to hear from me now? Yes. Well, I thought you needed me to run the autonomic nervous system. We do, but this is important. Look, I'll even do it myself. Just tell us who to trust. Brain? Heart. Right, heart. Lungs. Lungs. Liver. Nerves. Okay, thanks. I got it. Heart, lungs, liver. You're terrible at this. I know. I'm doing my best. Yes, it's very hard to stay focused on running things when other people are talking to you, isn't it?
What are you doing?
finally, I can talk. Now, what were you asking me? Running everything kind of feels like popping in and out of consciousness. It's easy to lose track of things. They were asking you for your blessing to trust me. Oh, that's right, yeah. Fuck this guy. Don't trust him. Really? So you'd have them trust her? Oh, of course not. Can't trust anybody here but ourselves, but I guess that leaves us back where we started, doesn't it? I suppose if I had to make a choice, I'd pick the one that doesn't make our organs shut down. Thank you for your gracious show of support. But that's a marginal preference. We'll have to deal with him later. I'd just rather deal with him while our organs are intact. Whatever. You heard what he had to say, so whether you trust me or not, killing her is still the best, nay, the only option you have worth taking. Alright, I'm done. You can let me take over again. Finally, that was awful. I really don't know how you do it. Heart, lungs, liver.
You've been standing there staring blankly for a while now, and I have to say my patience is running a little thin. So don't make a lady wait any longer, okay? Open the door!
Your will concentrates into a single fine point, and you strike out against the princess, ignoring the constant reminder she doesn't even move as the blade sinks into her heart. We did it. We actually did it.
You actually went for it! Oh.
We've already seen it. When you fall, you rip your blade from her chest.
Have fun falling forever. I'll see you when you finally decide to die.
She tears herself away from you and tumbles away into the darkness. You are alone, and you are fallen forever. But you saved the world. You should be proud of yourself for seeing this through. Oh. I can stop now, can't I? I can. Finally. Are we really gonna fall forever? Can't you narrate us some stairs out of it? But she was the one who controlled this place, wasn't she? And now she's dead. I don't like to think what that means for us. It means you're falling. Forever. No. Oh, no. Oh, I hate this. You continue to fall. Forever's gonna end. Eventually, right? No, it won't. That's the whole point of forever. It doesn't end. You continue to fall, and you will only continue to fall. I feel sick. Doesn't have to be forever, though. Does it? What do you mean? We still have a way out, clutched in our hands. Are you suggesting we kill ourselves? Won't we be dead? Guess that hasn't stopped us before. That's a terrible idea. You've already saved the entire world from ruin. Why would you want to die? Because right now, you don't want us to do that. You're right. I don't. But if we've already saved the world, then why does it matter if we die? Why do you care? I just do. I value life. Every life. Even yours. Especially yours. Why? What do you mean, why? I think it's perfectly reasonable to value life. Exactly. I don't have to answer that. What are you doing? loosen your grip, and the blade tumbles through your open fingers. Now you're really falling forever. There's no way out now. Again? That's unfortunate. You were only supposed to be here once. You just can. Look, this... No. Oh, you could do a lot. You say that now, but let's see how we all feel after a week, or a month, or a year. That's a grim thought, isn't it? Now, if we're going to be stuck here until we starve, we really shouldn't be at each other's throats. Still no. You're not going to... Oh, we should ask the narrator. You can't just... The narrator? I'm stuck here. I wish I were. Unlike you, You wait. We've tried doing it... I don't look... The doorknob twists in your... You take the blade from... The door to the basement. Making your way, the princess towers open. As if on command, the blade slips from your grasp. It clatters uselessly to the floor. But we didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember? Are you really just going to let that happen to us? I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade. Of course we dropped it. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence. Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel. Oh, are you still trying to defy me? I said kneel.
Your legs buckle, and your knees hit the floor.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you tried to kill me. And here you are again, trying to succeed where you've already catastrophically failed. What draws you back here beyond the empty halls of death? Speak.
The last time we met, nobody should have met her before this. You should be the first. You're the only one I trust to deal with her.
Then you shouldn't have trusted us. There was nothing we could do to stop her then, and there's nothing we can do to stop her now.
He's being melodramatic, but yeah, we've been here before, and she absolutely destroyed us. What are we even supposed to do to stop her? That's worrying. Whatever you do, don't tell her why you're here. It's best not to give her any ideas.
Do you think holding shut your beak is enough to stop me from prying it open? Do you think your skull can save your thoughts from being seen? Perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters.
You reach forward and grasp the blade. You can feel a creaking tension. Oh, your body is sluggish and unresponsive, actively fighting against you, but you do your best to stagger forward. One step at a time, you move towards the princess.
Slitting your throat would have been a mercy, but it seems you're in need of a harsher lesson. Plunge that knife into your lungs.
I'm sorry.
Don't! As you take another step forward, the blade digs into your ribs, slicing through flesh with ease. It somehow feels like an entirely natural thing to do, while the simple act of walking has become an arduous impossibility. Then it slides back out, the wound burning as a small hiss of air escapes through the fresh orifice. Blood fills your lungs.
Now, do it again. Keep doing it until I give you permission to stop.
Those are just words. You don't have to listen to her.
It's what she wants.
You, heroic one, what are you doing? Don't just let this happen. Stop him from killing you. I'm on it. Your other hand locks around your wrist, struggling to keep it from perforating vital organs. The blade still flails towards you, managing to slice bits of skin that plop to the floor to join the growing pile of blood and gore beneath you. Despite the pain, you manage to keep yourself in one piece, at least for now.
What a pitiful display. A wounded little bird thinking it can defy a god. It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to hurt so much. You can choose a gentle end. You can choose to leave that punctured vessel for the next. Or you can pathetically struggle against yourself until the floor of this temple is painted with the bloody impressions of your futility.
Continue to approach the princess, even as the repeated gouges of your blade expose bone and muscle to the open air of the basement. You know, this would be a lot easier if you gave us a hand. My influence only goes so far, and I can only juggle so many things at once. The best I can do right now is to continue to drive you forward. Believe me, this whole ordeal would be so much easier if I didn't have to contend with free will.
You're the one making things difficult. You're the one making us hurt. She doesn't want to hurt us. She's just doing what she has to.
Stop.
As you finish crossing the room, you fall to your knees at the princess's feet, your chest heaving as your blood pools in the crevices of the stone floor, the coppery taste coating your throat. The princess kneels down, lifting your chin with her finger as her face lowers to yours.
Your devotion is misplaced. You've surrendered to delusion. But something about your defiant spirit speaks to me. You are different than you were before. Perhaps, if you've learned your lesson, I can spare you from the release of death. There's a place at my side for you, if you'll have it. Not as an equal, but as something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet.
Well, that's the meaning, isn't it? Yes, how thoughtful of her.
It's a mercy. Take it.
I think he's given up whatever say he had at the start of all this. At least one of you is sane. She's within striking distance, and she's only negotiating now because she knows you have what it takes to put an end to her. Seize the moment before it's too late.
No!
Yes. Though your body trembles, struggling to defend itself in the face of the princess's overwhelming will, you finally manage to break through, darting to her side before she can react. The wind of your freedom rushes through you, and you channel it into a decisive blow, stabbing into the soft flesh of her ankle and severing the tendons in an act of unyielding defiance.
She falls to the floor, crashing unceremoniously to her knees. But you don't give her any time to recover. Your heart pounding with determination, you plunge your blade into her chest. As you find your target again and again, she laughs, crude emotion breaking through her once stony composure as your blade cuts her flesh.
We can do this, can't we?
You always could. The decision to give you this task was not made lightly. You're here for a reason.
It's not too late to pick up the pieces. It's not too late to toss that blade aside and beg for forgiveness.
Shut up.
I can't believe you would actually strike me. You heathen! You worm! You defiler! You don't know the consequences of your arrogance!
Before you can strike the final blow, the princess lashes out, knocking you off your feet. There's an unsettling wet pop as your spine breaks, numbness and pain spreading through your body. As you rebound towards the ceiling in a moment of disorientated lightness, she drives her fist into your chest. Your body is crushed as she pulverizes you into the floor, the ground itself breaking from the impact. You lie there, broken, beyond pain, unable to even see what she's done to you. But the princess is succumbing to her own wounds as well. She looks down upon her body in abject horror and disgust.
You made me use my hands. I can feel myself twisting into something new, something dull, something defiled. What have you done to me?
You're monsters and conspirators. I can't bear to watch this.
The princess has been nothing but cruel to you. You should feel liberated by her fall.
But I don't feel liberated. I feel empty.
Aside from the pain, I feel fine.
She collapses to the floor. Her glassy eyes watch, unblinking, yet somehow still full of anguish and fear, as the two of you perish together.
I suppose we were never going to get a happy ending here, were we?
Don't let those be your final thoughts. You saved the world. That's worth something.
I guess.
Regardless of how you feel about it, it's finally over. Thank you. Everything goes dark, and you die. You lunge to the side, picking a direction. As you land, you're buffeted by a gust of air, disturbed by the sudden motion of a massive body. The princess. In an instant, she's pounced on the spot where you would have been, her chains rattling across the floor behind her. Before you can blink, she's gone, vanishing once more into the shadows. But you still feel her gaze off.
You're faster than you were before, but you're still meek, reactive, prey.
You whirl around to find her, and your gaze meets hers, a pair of shining eyes peering out at you from just beyond the basement stairs.
So she's cut off our escape. Shit. What do we do?
She's right there. We have to wait for an opening.
That's fair. She'll kill us if we try and run past her.
I want to swallow you whole, and I will get what I want. You have no exit. You have no hope. You live and die by my whims, and my whims alone.
Don't ask her what she wants. Just run for the blade upstairs and slay her with it. Is that all the advice you have? We don't even know what she looks like. Some specifics would be very helpful. She's just a princess. Don't overthink it.
She's clearly not.
You cannot reason your way out of this, fledgling. There's no compromise with what I am.
At least she's upfront about her intentions. She's coiling for another strike. Be somewhere else. We're on the back foot. The back foot keeps us nimble, keeps us alive. It doesn't matter if it keeps us alive, if it eventually kills us. We need to take back the momentum. We need to do something. Barely moving out of the way before the princess surges past you with a speed that makes her practically unseen. Yes, now's our chance. Quick. Right, I agree. We can't do anything without a weapon. We can regroup once we're armed and try to figure out a better plan. Don't plan ahead. Act on the now. All that matters is that we stay alive. You sprint for the stairs, but as soon as you take your first step...
This path is already worn by travel. It has been seen by one...
Wait, what? You manage to avoid her snapping jaws, but you aren't fast enough to evade the whole of her titanic momentum. She grazes you, the force of it enough to skin you all along your side, leaving a line of red, raw flesh. It's like being sideswiped by sandpaper. How is she that fast? This isn't working. We have to do something. We have to figure out a plan. Don't plan ahead. Act on the now. All that matters is that we stay alive. We're trying, but we can't keep this up much longer. We have to. We keep up or we die.
You're getting slow.
She seizes the opportunity, lunging once again from the darkness, fangs bared and claws flashing. She attacks over and over and over, and each time she leaves with a little piece of you. Too tired to think, but we have to think. We have to move. It's too late. Before you get the chance to react, she makes her last foray from the dark corners of the room, unhinging her dripping maw, her eyes fierce and full of hunger. You do your best to dive out of the way, and you partially succeed. Partially? Yes, the princess fails to swallow you whole. She only swallows your lower body. That's just as bad. That's worse, even. It's death either way. At least this will be a faster end. You look down to see that the dirt between you is strewn with your intestines, trailing all the way up and disappearing behind her blood-stained teeth. Your legs are nowhere to be seen. You start to go into shock. The princess, bloody saliva dripping from her lips, idly gnaws on what's left of you as you rapidly fade away.
I didn't mean to do that. I still need to devour you. And it doesn't count if you're dead.
Well, we're not dead, we're... But you don't have time to protest her premature observation of your death, because everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the wood. That didn't work. We're going in with a plan this time. We're not getting stuck in another loop, just acting on instinct. We're stuck in a big enough loop as it is.
This path is already worn by travel. It has been seen by one of my many eyes. You can...
Wait, what? She's coiling for another... We're on the back foot. It doesn't matter if... playing dead. It's unexpected. It could work. As the princess lunges from the shadows once more, you collapse to the ground, feigning death. She lands directly on top of you with her full weight, nearly crushing you into the dirt, but then silence, only broken by the sound of your beating heart. It actually worked, didn't it? Only, what do we do to make her leave? Do we just keep playing dead? She sniffs at you, shifting her weight uncomfortably as her face finds yours. Her breaths are hot and oppressive against your skin.
Have you seen my great big eyes? Because they see you, fledgling. They see your heartbeat pulsing in your throat.
Move, now! But it's too late for you to move. Her jaw unhinges, and she swallows you whole. I guess that's it then, isn't it? Unfortunately for you, no, this isn't it. You are in a dark and caustic place. A thick, fibrous lining constricts around you, its slick surface impossible to grip. Your hands scrabbling uselessly at your surroundings as they compress in on you. Your lungs can barely expand in such a tiny space. Not that the humid, finite air grants you more than a few shallow breaths at a time. There's a shift in the humid air, and something enormous, the princess, lunges from the shadows, her maw unhinged and dripping, her eyes fierce and full of hunger. She is too quick to outrun, too nimble to outmaneuver, too determined to overpower. This is her domain. You are devoured. I guess that's it then, isn't it? Unfortunately for you, no, this isn't it. You are in a dark and caustic place. A thick, fibrous lining constricts. The liquid pooling beneath you starts to seep into your skin. There's a shift in the humid air, and something enormous. Unfortunately, you are in a dark and caustic. The liquid pooling beneath you starts to seep into your skin. You itch, then sting, then burn as the acid begins its slow work.
When I killed you, I tried to leave this place, but it wouldn't let me. You belong down there, it screamed at me. The world is better off without you in it.
The flesh around you rumbles as the princess begins to move, her thundering footfalls twisting you helplessly about. Your skin protests as the corrosive liquid sloshes around you, but there will be no respite for you in sight. The burning grows stronger, and you can feel layers of you being peeled away.
But you don't belong down here. You came from somewhere else. You came from out there. So I consumed your dead heart, and I carried it in my throat, and I draped what was left of you on my back, and I threw myself against that door.
She stops, her muscles tensing around you, and through the muffling layers of her flesh, you hear the whine of straining metal. And with a pop, she lurches forward, your body lurching right along with her. Her chains. She's loose.
But even then, it denied me freedom. You cannot fool me by draping yourself in decay. I know your true nature, and it is suffering.
Gravity pulls at you as you're hefted upwards, the distant creaking of ancient wooden steps barely audible over the thudding of the princess's heart.
And then it was gone, and I was here. A new enclosure, a nicer cage, but still a prison. I learned from my wounds. You're alive now. We can leave together.
Does that work? Could she free herself if we're alive in here? Do you really need me to give you a definitive answer for you to understand that the situation is grim? Stop her. Do something. You still have that steel claw. Tear through her before we are her. Survive. Or we could use it to make this quick for ourselves. If she needs us in order to leave, we could at least deny her that.
That is a bad thing to do. Though you have little room to move, you use what strength you can muster to drive the blade forward into the thick walls of tissue digesting you.
I can feel you tearing through me, but are you swift enough for it to matter?
Your body is violently jostled, the disruption causing burning skin to slough from raw muscle, and you hear what you can only assume is the princess pulling against the door to the cabin.
The cage is still locked.
You slice again, deeper, rooting through her meat with the tip of your blade, until at last it finds her beating heart. The blade comes to bang as the princess desperately throws everything at the door. Your flesh screams as your reddened, spongy body is hit with fresh waves of blistering acid.
You can't hold me forever.
So your body is dissolving, eroding into unrecognizable shapes. Your will drives it forward. You have a target, and you will strike it.
We're too late, aren't we? This isn't survival. This is spite.
No, it's something better. It's fulfilling a noble destiny. Your lone, functioning arm lashes out, stabbing up towards the princess's heart.
So you found a way to kill me. Then we'll die together, and I will see you again soon.
With those prophetic words, you do not draw another breath, your body tangled and melting in the cooling folds of the princess's flesh. Everything goes dark, and you die. But at least you've saved the world, I hope. You step into the shadows and are enveloped in total darkness. Your heart pounds in your chest, ears pricked, eyes wide despite the inky blackness, waiting for any sign of movement. That's right. Keep steady. Don't let your nerves get the better of you. There, she's about to strike. With the near silence of a determined predator, the princess erupts from the shadows. But you've already started your swift escape. That's stage one. Now stay focused. You dive into the tunnel, begin scrambling up towards the cabin. You hear her behind you, claws raking at the dirt, chains rattling, breaths hot and heavy with the effort of the ascent. But the sounds are coming slower now, the breaths pained and stuttering. You no longer sense frantic motion behind you in the tunnel. You risk a glance. She is a broad and sickly creature, her withered and emaciated flesh clinging to bones too large to fit in the narrow space. She managed to squirm her way into the tunnel in pursuit, but now she's stuck, incapable of either moving towards you or returning to the open darkness of the basement below. So that's what she's become. She wasn't like this when we started, was she? No, she wasn't. Looking at her makes me feel sad. Yeah, now that we can see her, she doesn't feel like much of a threat at all. Her eyes look up at yours, wide, pleading. Come back, you can imagine them saying. Don't leave me here. But you shouldn't listen to the sad eyes of a vanquished enemy. She wants nothing more than to change places with you. If you want us to ignore her, then why would you tell us any of that wide, pleasing eyes begging for mercy business to begin with? All it does is make us feel conflicted. I'm merely describing things as they are. It's not my fault that her eyes had something to say, even if that something was a ploy, which, if I might stress, I pointed out to you.
What should we do about her anyway? Can she still end the world like this? She hurts. We should help.
Maybe we should try and talk to her. This is a good opportunity for information. We shouldn't waste it.
That's a terrible idea. She doesn't know anything. She hasn't even said a word since you got here. You cautiously make your way closer to the princess, her eyes avoiding yours with the silent resignation of a defeated predator.